Yeah, she's calling back. We're going to try to give her a call again, and then she just added another phone number to the 13-year-old grandson who's possibly with the daughter. Step out with this.
2412.
Veteran crisis hotline's calling in, so they have a female veteran off her medication. She's over at the safe haven. Detective 12, we'll check that one out.
6 Rumble, 2 1 Charlie, get shots going.
Officer still stands for talk? No. Offender in custody? Thanks. Anyone else close, might just let me know. Temporary.
turn this down. This is just going to be something short and sweet, hopefully. I don't know. Okay, there's Katrina. What's up, Katrina? All right, so this is going to be, I realize some people might be in chat, but I know that some people aren't going to be able to make it, so this is just going to be a short recording. Oh, the keyboard. This is just going to be a short. It's okay. It's just like really like
loud. This. It's supposed to be a quiet one.
Shoot. Well, this is going to be a short message. What's up, Melissa? You're more than welcome to hop up on the live chat if you'd like to, because it does, you are kind of involved with it. Anne's involved with it just because of, the stuff that I'm going to kind of discuss. But I'm going to give everybody kind of a background of how everything has taken place since the first day that I came here. Just to kind of give everybody some background, and then it kind of what leads up to today when it comes to what my heart's feeling when I laid there this morning. Rob had put up a really great quote on Facebook earlier, and it says, many people won't understand your boldness until they see the fruit of it, but I can assure you that no one has ever brought necessary change by being quiet. And I thought it was a perfect fitting for the conversation that I'm going to have tonight.
Beautiful quote.
It is a beautiful quote, and I think it's perfect for tonight because the reason that I feel things have gone the way that they have is because of that right there. Because I'm that person that, like I said, if I see a wolf amongst the sheep, I just have to tell you because I care. And so when it comes to that, when I first showed up, and after the first couple protests of being around the protesters and being around the community and just the love, they started to reach out to me. Okay. And I'm not going to name names, but those protesters know who they are with each thing that I'm going to be talking about. They came up to me, and it was a lot of protesters that came up to me after the first couple that I was there for. Okay. It had to do with Protest J. There's a lot of protesters, and everybody will know what I'm talking about. There's a lot of protesters that won't even give him a fist pump. A lot of protesters where he still is adamant about your name and all these different things. Even somebody that came up to me and said that, he had mentioned that she was his screensaver at home. And so even though he still continued, and I still continued to semi-communicate, it was one of those things where the protesters' comfort was always number one to me, and their safety before any of mine. And so what I did is I made sure that I was there for the protesters, and I was there to help. If there was a situation where they were going to be uncomfortable or felt uncomfortable, I intervened and helped redeflect. You know what I'm saying? So that way nobody was feeling uncomfortable and nobody was feeling disrespected. It was one of those things like Tom Savard. When I first came here, Tom Savard was coming around. I go to the first court hearing that I was here for, and that's where I met Tom Savard. I was interviewing a lady that was talking about the 2 church fires, explaining that to me and what she had. And he kind of came up and interrupted the conversation, and he was on for a couple shows. Now, when we found out that and boy, does he have a record, it's something that we didn't put out there. We encouraged everybody to look it up, Tom Savard Sr. And when we looked it up, shout out Angels, because they do an amazing job digging up dirt, so that way we can make sure that everybody is safe and does see the wolves amongst the sheep, because we do care. And so when we discovered his background, the lengthy history of substances, domestic violence, and when it came to him being out there, that was another thing that protesters came up to me and said, CJ, do you know about this? Yes, I know about this. We're not comfortable with him being here. I stood up again. For people that didn't want to say anything, I stood up again. I let everybody know. I made a community post about it. Now, Tammy was going to be coming on the show. She ended up going to Cassie's show. I shouted out Cassie for having her on the platform. And I, in turn, asked the audience to go ahead and check out that episode. Because it is traumatic. It is, these domestic violence things are horrific. And so instead of putting Tammy through it again, I thought it was just best just to refer the community to Cassie's episode so Tammy didn't have to talk about it another time. Now, Steph's Case Files is the one that had Tom Savard on. She's the one that had Tom Savard, stood up for Tom Savard, and also attacked Allie at the same time, protest organizer. That was when Allie was considering being done and quitting for good when it comes to the protest organizing. If you guys remember, I'm sure you do. At the same time, because I backed away from Tom Savard Sr. because of his history when I learned his history, and I also backed away from him if he was ever at the protest, and I never acknowledged him. And if anything, I wanted to say to the man, you know, it'd sure look a lot better if you held a sign that said, I was a domestic violence abuser and now I stand against it. But instead, that person was out there putting up videos with their shirt off and taking in views and being in contact with domestic violence victims. Because I stood up and created distance between that, Steph's Case Files started attacking me. This is way back then. Steph's Case Files started attacking me then. So it's been no secret, if anybody has watched her shows, that all the way from back then is when she started attacking me. There's even episodes of me being out there for the protest where Steph's Case Files has came up to me and talked to me, and I've always been completely respectful, even though she was talking ill of my character and what I do already, because I stood against Tom Savard Sr. I thought in my mind, why would I ever associate somebody that supports a domestic violence abuser, especially for a protest against domestic violence? And I couldn't in my soul feel right doing that or associating myself with anybody that way. That's why whenever Steph's Case Files reached out to me, it was just a couple message exchange when it came to me being respectful, denying her request for information. But also I didn't want to have any kind of dialogue because I don't want to be associated with anybody that even supports domestic violence. Since then, there was a couple week period where time went by and everything seemed okay. Then all of a sudden, when I started reaching 600 viewers on my protest shows on YouTube, and there was a super chat. So somebody had donated a $350 South African Rand donation. Now, not to minimize, and I'm not trying to minimize it because that's not what I'm doing. I'm just trying to show you that 350 South African was actually $19.75 American. But that struck a chord with iPhone Guru. On that stream that took place, he started to then talk ill of my character, the community that we have, and our investigation capabilities. I still maintained, and you can go to any of these protests on locations, I still maintained peace, positivity, and progress. Even though I know that there's ill will towards me, it's not about me, it's about Micah. As that came out, then Steph's case files started to come after me again. And then also Cassie was having shows in the background before any of this was even obvious to any of you. That's the stuff that's been taking place the last couple weeks. I still maintained peace, positivity, and progress. I never even mentioned anything. But I want you guys to understand there was already a collective ill will effort against me and my character and my capabilities as an investigator before I was even ever part of this Facebook group that I was kicked out from. The lies that are being spread by iPhone Guru claiming that I said that his girlfriend was True Crime Re and that she worked for Winslow's lawyer's office. This is information that I heard from a show from JLR and Magnolia. I trust their capabilities and I trust their investigative journalism. And all I did was repeat this in a show when we were talking about True Crime Re. And I even stated in that show that I always thought it was destiny anyway. But iPhone continued to be disrespectful to where one of the angels actually had to ban him from the community. He has continued to spread this false narrative that I have made up this lie, and it's not true whatsoever. Now, I've sent text messages that I've received from these three individuals to other people already in the past. A lot of the stuff that's been taking place, I've talked to other people, and you know who you are. Now, because when it comes to the communities and my efforts, and I give 150%. When I was received and accepted into a Facebook group where I could talk to Rob and Millie and Ann and everybody, Ann was doing a lot of great work legally for the protesters, helping in so many different ways. You know our investigative capabilities with the stuff that we're breaking through with this investigation that took place. You know that our effort and our desire for justice is bar none. And so, being a humble person that I am, when I was accepted into something as small as a Facebook group, it was a badge of honor to me and I felt special. And when I was the only one there out of any of these people at that court hearing in the morning, not knowing what time it was going to start, and right back there in the afternoon to make sure that I could document it for the community, I was the only one there, and that was the time that I was booted from a group. Nobody reached out to me. There's no reason that I should have to reach out to somebody when I don't even know what I even did or what the problem was. And so when that happened, I still didn't really say anything. We mentioned it on the show because Ann had noticed it. Find that I was kicked from it. Still went on, still moved on, still did the work, because that's what it's about, justice for Micah. I didn't say anything. Not until a couple days later. So at this point, I have been attacked in the background from these individuals for the last month and a half. While I've been about the peace, positivity, and progress, even while others are talking ill of myself. So at that point, when I respond and I show people the truth, because it was nothing that was created, nothing that was fabricated or manufactured, it was already there, something that had already taken place. I talked about how much it hurt, because it did hurt. That nobody even reached out to me and respected me as another human being that was giving the effort that I have been giving for this community, this cause, and this protest. And I know that if I would have done the same, I would have at least reached out to that person too. So when you've been dealing with these things for the last month and a half in the background, not even saying anything because you're about peace, positivity, and progress, you're just continuing to do your job. And when it gets as low as getting kicked out of a group and then getting bashed because I was supposed to ask permission, that's when I had enough. And I spoke out. And it wasn't nothing crazy negative. It wasn't anything, nothing that has been ever done to me this whole time in the last month and a half. I've never even gone to that level where I've just made a whole show about that. It was something that was mentioned in a show, and that was it. The other stuff from Steph's case files, Guru, Cassie, this stuff is made up. And it's made up so they can look like it's me. And what am I? To me, I'm competition. To them, I'm competition. To me, they're community. That's why even while they're talking ill, it's still about community. Now, after everything has happened and all of this stuff that's taken place, the threats that I've shared with Melissa and a couple other people, and then what I came across last night. And after the show last night, and it had nothing to do with anything about whatever but the investigation of Micah, because that's what we're doing. But when I see this, hold on. So after the show last night, and here's some, I'm just going to go ahead and share these because these are private and you already know their phone numbers. So I'm not sharing any information with anybody that nobody doesn't have already. This was in a live stream the day before. This was in JLR's show. I was supporting him for Sebastian Rogers and Micah. Steph's case files says, CJ, why are you going around spreading lies about me while you were in here? We will talk face to face at the next protest. I'll bring my husband to help get your story straight. No time for lies. I don't know what you're talking about, Steph. I said, please don't threaten me. especially in a live stream. She responds, "No one threatened anything. I'll see you next time at the protest because I fly in to cover them." And I said I would bring my husband because you started a rumor that he knows isn't true, just so at that point, I was already done. And I feel bad that it came across in JLR's community. And I'm glad that Magnolia had told her to stop because that's not it. Steph's case files. I was with my friend Cammie the whole time and only saw Thomas at the first protest momentarily. I'm coming to the next protest so you can say these things to my face like a real man and not a pussy. You game? Another one from a different number. Just in case you have me blocked on the other phone that you never check, and just so we're clear. The same number. This is Steph. I'm going to tell you right now, not only do you not have no right to call me a leech, but you really have no right passing rumors that I slept with Thomas. He's an old man, first off, you. I have been married to my husband for the last 30 years. I'm coming after you for slander, so you better hold your shit. Again, Steph's case files. You can see the number. It's the same. Oh, hold on. Let me drop the screen a little bit. Here. Let me go back so you can see the other ones, just so I'm being transparent here. There's the phone number. And you can pause it. There's the phone number. There's the phone number of what we just read. Here's the next one. So now I'm on a quest to find out your real name and your real number so I can make sure you see these messages, but also to give my lawyer so that she can advise you the definition of slander. You are not a man. You are a little boy. Shame on you. I am an accountant that was offering expertise, not leeching. I've worked hard for years to gain my following and work really hard on research as well as on-site filming, as you have witnessed. Fuck you. No, I've never witnessed her shows. I'm sorry. Because the ones that I did watch, it was just her sitting there whining about something, just being honest. And I don't have enough time to watch those. I have enough work to do already. Here's another. CJ, you lie so much. Take your mental health serious because you are making a mockery of it. You are jealous. You act like a little child. Grow up and do your research and stop stealing from me. This is from iPhone Guru. You can see the number up there at the top. My advice to you would be to stop spreading lies about my girlfriend working for Tom Winslow. She works for a company in another state and everyone knows it but you, Magnolia, and Ann. Also, you calling me JP's little buddy is making you look worse to everyone because everyone knows that I don't like that guy. The things you say just to get people to watch your channel is crazy. We do a lot of investigating, and I don't know what he's talking about. You should actually do some investigating before you open your mouth and lie to people for clickbait. Now go and cry for an hour on this live about this text and try to talk trash about me, which everyone already knows I'm a stand-up guy. Now,
Yes, I stand up.
I want to show you guys something real quick, and this is one of the many reasons why I've never trusted him and why he was one of the ones that started mocking me for me getting a contribution from my community for going out and doing not only investigative work behind a computer, but doing investigative work on the ground. Okay? I want to show you guys something real quick because this is why, and these are just a couple reasons. This is why where is it? Hold on. And I feel bad I feel bad for any of these people that their license plates are exposed. But why? This is just odd to me right here, okay? So when it comes to being a buddy, you get your information. You get your information very interestingly. The people that I'm discussing tonight work with Robbie Harvey, which is also upset because we had shows that showed victims of his discussing horrific things that I don't think is right for not only Micah, but for all victims out there. And a lot of victims go to Robbie Harvey.
Mm.
And we also had one of Robbie Harvey's victims on our members episode 3. And again, when it comes to Rob's comment, you have to speak out. And sometimes people don't like that when you are the one that speaks boldly. But again, if I see a wolf amongst the sheep, I have to let you know because I care. Now, this right here, I don't understand how you even get this kind of access. That's all I'm going to say. And you know whose DeLorean that is, okay? Almanac book and all.
Amazing.
You just look at the evidence, okay? You just look at the evidence, and that's all I'm going to say, okay? Again, part of Robbie Harvey, Cassie, Steph's case files, and Robbie Harvey is the leader of it all. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody that's within that group is who called Robbie Harvey to make that Robbie Harvey call that he aired the other night that had my name in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. These people have an agenda to get rid of me because unfortunately it's not a justice for Mike, it's a justice for agenda. And I'll get into that in a second because it's something that I thought about in my soul this morning. But I wanted to show you this other video, and I apologize. I thought I had it on a playlist, but let me see if I can find it because it shows, and I hope that some of you can reach out to him and ask him to either clip it or take it down because it shows a lot of protesters' license plates. I'm not saying he did it on purpose, but what I am saying is when somebody is this reckless, when it comes to safety of people that are supposed to be protected, you just exposed a lot of people's license plates and a lot of people's personal history, whether you meant it or not. Let me see here. Right here. So let me get rid of this. There's already a license plate right there. Okay, so here's the link. Whoa, come on, YouTube. Here's the link. I'll drop it in chat so you guys can have it for yourself. And the other one is just a short. It's just a short. But look at all these license plates that people can then pause and find out your personal information. Pause, find out your personal information.
Yeah.
Pause, find out your personal information. Pause, find out your personal information. So I wanted to give you guys a heads up. And I even talked to Melissa about this a couple days ago, and I asked her if she could at least mention to the protesters to park their cars with the license plates facing towards the bushes at least. Now, when it comes to last night, with all of this stuff that has taken place in the last month and a half, last night after the show, I was watching Agatha May's episode 3. As I was watching Agatha May's episode 3, as she's getting into a Facebook group that has not been talking very kindly about Micah and her family, she had to start off the video with this. And it says, yes, that was Guru. That was iPhone Guru. Like I said, I'm just giving you, whether he did it on purpose, I'm not saying he did, but what I'm saying is that when somebody, listen, this is why when I'm out there doing my work, I don't make mistakes like that, okay? Especially with other people's stuff. If it's my own, it is what it is. Especially with other people's stuff, and if it happens to come across there, I make sure I edit it out or I get rid of it. Because when it comes to these protesters, don't you know that JP could literally go to that video and see every tag from that car and then have every protester's vehicle information, address, name, phone number, cousins, businesses, associates. JP has it right now, probably. I'm just saying. But when I was ending the show, I was watching Agatha May's episode 3. As soon as she gets into her video, instantly, he is nonchalantly, however you spell it, insinuating Cassie and Steph and their followers are behind this secret group, and he thinks Jay is involved in the private group and involved with RH's phone call. I never said Jay was involved in RH's phone call. I never mentioned Cassie or Steph or their followers being behind the secret group. I shouted out Agatha May for exposing this Facebook group because when we were hearing the stuff that we were hearing, it was absolutely horrific when it came to justice for Micah and the family, the way that they were talking about them all. The fact that they mash bombed Agatha May enough, because she don't normally do this, where they mash bombed her enough to insinuate that I was saying these things. Do I think Jay has ill intentions? I'll be honest with you, I do. And a lot of the protesters have felt that way since the beginning. And when you look up his record and you see embezzlement and evictions and then you see the GoFundMe for $21,000 and has raised $3,500 for a fairy tale happy ending. And he's also trying to steal members from Solid Rock for his own congregation. Yes, he's involved in a private group somehow, but I'm not saying it had anything to do with RH's phone call. Are Cassie and Steph involved in a secret group that are talking nasty about the family? I didn't say that. I didn't say that at all. So as I watched this, and I sat back last night before I went to sleep, and I said, this is just going to a level that I just didn't even think it would. And what have me and Ann done but break open different chunks of the investigation of Micah's passing that hadn't been broken before? And we're giving this effort and then continuing to focus on working on the Justice for Micah movement. And we continually have been getting attacked from these people over and over and over and over and over. And I sat there last night before I fell asleep and I said, what is going on? I
Yeah.
woke up. Oh, go ahead, Dan.
No, I'm listening to you.
I woke up yesterday morning. I'm sorry. I woke up this morning. And I sat there and I laid in bed. And as soon as I woke up, because I think about stuff in my dreams. It's crazy. But when I wake up, I remember my dreams and what I was thinking about because this stuff consumes my mind because of how much I care. And when I woke up and I instantly went back to this and I said, what has this become where these people have to insinuate themselves that I had anything to do with any of this stuff that I've shown you tonight and said tonight? And I haven't. And what it is, it's because I'm the one that the community was talking to the most. I'm the one that was getting the most attention because I was about what my words are. I put action behind my words. Now, when it came to this RH stuff that I had shows about a couple of weeks ago, that's when this group really started hitting heavy to where it was just me at first. And then they started going after Anne as well. Because they couldn't knock me down. So they're trying to knock both of us down. And they haven't been able to knock both of us down. And that's why they're going to these lengths. Now, this is what I want everybody to understand. When I woke up this morning and I said, what has this become when people go to these lengths? And I said, it's not justice for Micah anymore. And these are just my own thoughts, okay? I'm not speaking for anybody. And please don't take this negatively because I don't mean it this way. I said to myself, this isn't justice for Micah anymore. These protests aren't justice for Micah. This is all justice for an agenda. Justice for an agenda because they're not about justice for Micah. If they were about justice for Micah, excuse me. If they were about justice for Micah, and I'm referring to all these people I'm talking about tonight, then they would have continued to do what Anne and I have continued to do this whole time while we've been attacked in the background. We keep bringing real awareness instead of even the last couple days. These individuals are having shows and their community just continues to bash CJ and Anne, and they sit there as the host and they go, I don't know, I was too busy just being quiet, letting the community just run amok. They themselves have said negative things as well. Oh yeah, I agree with that. Oh, 100%. Oh yes, a lot of these things when it came to stuff that's being said. We have not had any shows where we've talked anywhere near what these individuals have talked about us. Yeah. That's why I said these protests and this stuff, this group right here, it's not about justice for Micah. It's about a justice for agenda. And the justice for the agenda right now is destroy CJ and anybody that's associated with CJ, because he's the biggest threat when it comes to us getting information and us getting attention. So as I'm sitting there and I'm going, man, with all of these threats and all of these finger pointings and all of these lies that are being made up, you can see the people that come into my shows and sit there and say, I can't believe the nasty stuff that is being said about you, CJ. This is where I'm coming from. Now, I could easily go to the protest on Sunday. and I can go up like I was planning on until this morning. I was going to be there at 7:15, way early, to go to the police and swipe through all the threats and demands and lies to let them know, guess what, officers? I'm just giving you a heads up. My response is going to be, okay, cool, to whatever negative thing is being said. I don't want to discuss this. This is justice for Micah, just like I have in any of my shows when people have came at me with trying to create drama. Jay was one last week during my live stream.
Yeah.
I just if I can't not have the conversation where I'm standing, that's fine. If I'm comfortable in a spot that I've been in for a minute or two or however long, I will go ahead and move out of the way to avoid the conversation, because it's about justice for Micah. I was not left alone, and I had to walk to the other side of the street. Now, when it comes to this weekend, this is what was hitting my heart, and this is where it was hitting my soul. Because as much as I could go to the police and say, look, I'm about justice for Micah, I'm here to do what I've always done, and what I've always done and will do is work and do the work the right way with the right approach. And I can sit here and show this, but it doesn't mean that Guru, Steph's Case Files, Cassie, or any other, quote, and says flying monkeys to come over and start any kind of situation. Now, when it comes to the situation with Robin Millie, you saw what Fitz News did, you guys. You saw they came up with church wars. This is where I'm coming from. As much as I go to the protest, be informative with everybody, and be about the right thing, it doesn't mean that the people that can do this right here and go these boundaries won't go a boundary, even to create something as little as an argument. And the last thing that I would want on my soul, even though I'm there doing the right thing, the last thing that I would want on my soul is for a newspaper to report, now there's a protester war for the Justice for Micah protesters, and I don't want to be in any part of that. I hope you understand what I'm saying, and I hope you understand where I'm coming from. That's why I took 30 minutes to give you a background of the background, to show what I'm showing you from the last few days, and then to show you what my soul was telling me this morning. I could not wake up the next day with this on my conscience, where I went to be about the work like I've always done, and people like this right here can do as something as little as start an argument with me, for then the Sun News or Fitz News to then say, oh, there's a protester war now. So I'm letting you guys know this right now. I don't want anybody to know this. You guys are my inner people. You guys mean a lot to me, and that's why you're either here with me tonight, or I'm going to send you a copy of this. Because you mean a lot to me, I want you to know where I come from. I want you to know I'm never going to give up on justice for Micah, even though I'm not going to be at these protests. I want you to know the reasons. I want you to know where I'm coming from. And I want you to know it is always about peace, positivity, and progress. And that's why I have to do what I'm doing. Not because I don't want to be there. Not because I don't want to support and document. But it's gotten to a situation where there's some individuals that are there that don't act about justice for Micah. It's a justice for agenda. And I don't want to be that person that then they can use against the Justice for Micah movement. We've done a lot of work without going to these protests, and I'm going to be honest with you. Documenting the protest is one thing. You learn if JP goes in and out the door. But what we've done outside of the protest, compare that to anybody else.
Yeah.
And right there, you can see how much we're still going to continue to give effort. We're still going to get justice for Micah. I'm still going to be going out on location, doing work, investigating. We're still going to be doing that. But I don't want there to be a news article because of loose cannons that have a different agenda than justice for Micah to then create a narrative that puts a mark on justice for Micah. I wouldn't feel, I wouldn't, even though I wouldn't have any of those intentions, there's no way I could deal with it inside my soul.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
It's hard to say it because, and I'm not a quitter either. Anybody in my life knows I was that 160-pound dude that took on 300-pound dudes. I'm not afraid of nobody. I've seen the ugly, and I've seen a lot worse than most people have and ever will. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with if they want to put that mark on justice for Micah, the negative mark, that's on them. I'm just saying my soul wouldn't be able to handle it. And like Ann was saying, watch what happens when I'm not there anymore. What'd you say, Ann? When I'm not there anymore, what's going to happen?
Well, this is what I think is going to happen. I think, first of all, I think the protests, the protests by the real protesters, have served their purpose. Because if you look at what Solid Rock is doing, or whoever is behind it, they're like spiritually schizophrenic. They can't make up their mind, their name, what they stand for, who they are. So you definitely frazzled the one that we know is responsible for her death. Okay, so they're crumbling down. They're already crumbling. You did your job. With that being said, Allie, she must have been dealing with something that she pulled away. Your reporting is a lot of people turn to your channel because it's a good reporting. You can see the picture clearly. It's detailed. You're friendly with everyone, and you're there for a very long time. I'm sorry, but I'm going to be honest here. iPhone Guru has this, slim Apple phone. It's barely a real professional picture. And he's talking over most of it. And I don't know. It's just, I wouldn't watch it. And if he hears that, I couldn't care less at this point because he keeps making up stuff that I never said. So why not add to it?
I never said it either.
I know. And so I think that what's going to happen is, I said to you earlier that I'm pulling my prayer of protection over the protesters if you're not going to be there, especially if Rob and Millie don't go. And like a scorpion in a circle ring of fire, they're going to start turning on each other. And why? Because they're all plants. That's what I think. I think they've all been planted there by JP to cause division amongst the protesting. And that's exactly what they did. Thinking that they're going to stop justice for Micah, but what they've done is they've fueled the fire. That's what they've done. You don't have to stand outside the building to prove that he was responsible for her death. There's other ways to do it. So I don't think it's a good idea for CJ to go. I think they're looking to entrap him. His heart's in the right place, but theirs isn't.
I mean, even with the RH phone call, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it was one of those people in that group that did it. I know that they give RH information already. Guru, Cassie, and Steph. And so it doesn't surprise me. They couldn't get rid of me. Robbie Harvey made an attempt. while and this is what I don't understand. While we've just, other than the protests being there to document it, all we've done is just do work on this investigation to show the community and the world that the investigation was not done right, and
Mhm.
we're trying to fix what needs fixed. It's like Quantum Leap,
Yeah.
except we're leaping to here so we can try and fix what once was wrong, so I don't know. That's the biggest thing, and that's why I've been telling people, you know, like, the devil really attacks you when you're trying to do the right thing. And,
But you have
and
to not attack it back. Yeah, it did feel the
right.
fire.
Oh,
It really now has set ablaze. And I always felt that way. It's like God told me from the beginning. As soon as the protesting stops, is when He's going to step in. So this is a good sign. I see it that way. I don't feel that if these people show up as a real protest because they've got a wicked agenda. They've already shown it. I find it very odd that Agatha May, I was very curious to know who she was talking about because she was kind of messing up words, the names, names. And then in the number two, she had mentioned how they stemmed off of a Justice for Micah group in Facebook. And I remember in one of the groups that I'm in on Facebook, there was these, after the court case, there was just this group of people, one of them named Monica, who kept saying the Francis family sold them out, Francis family for money. All they wanted was money. And so I went to the admin and said, either you get rid of them or I leave. And so she came to me and says, you tell me who they are and I'll get rid of them. And it's funny because now this group has been made. And I thought, oh, okay, well, it's not Cassie and it's not, it's not that group. Well, then she bring number three. She ends up bringing up their names. And if you listen to that part, she says, she doesn't say their name. She has the name Cassie and she's got Steph up there and Jay's on the bottom. And
right.
she goes, one of them is a content creator and all she's been is pro JP. And I went, whoa. Now, when you think about it, that was very clever because anybody that watches her show will see both names and will say to themselves, what are they standing for? So that means that the people at the protest, or at least some of them, are pro JP. That's what she's saying. So I don't see any reason why CJ, and I hope Rob and Millie follow suit, should go there because they've already talked bad about Millie and Rob's
I've
ministry.
heard I've heard Rob about him and how he's playing guitar.
That was mentioned. Now Rob said something in the chat, and he made light of it. So God bless him.
I mean,
But I don't think any of you should be there anymore. And when I find out that Rob and Millie aren't going to go, I'm pulling that prayer of protection, of prayer over them. And
it's just a money grab, and it's an agenda to for all of them to basically feast off of the community's been very supportive of me, and there's a reason that they're very supportive because I do put actions behind my words. I do go out there and do stuff that even people will quit watching my stream because it's too dangerous. I mean, repelling and all these different things, and people just, I can't watch. Just let me know when it's done, people, and they
Melissa
come back,
too,
and
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
those are the
Melissa
things
too.
that I do.
I don't think she
And
should go either, but that I can't tell her what to do. But I don't think you should associate with those people.
I just, when I was there the last weekend and I saw the clique that
Mm,
got together, and I was like, wow, that's 2/3 of the protesters.
yeah,
It's no wonder I was getting dirty looks left and right, and I was made to feel so uncomfortable there last week. And I was still gonna go until this morning. And when I woke up and I was thinking about the length that they went to, even with Agatha May, and I didn't even say anything. They just took my shout out to Agatha May to then assume and insinuate those things, and they reached out enough where they had a massive army to where Agatha May responded to it on one of her videos. I mean, you
Yeah.
have to imagine that was she probably got inundated with a tremendous amount of messages
Yeah, but
just
if you
to
think about it, it has nothing to do with justice for Micah, because now she's had to step aside and be distracted from this crap.
she never does that. You know what I mean?
No,
When does
we've
she
been
do that? She
distracted.
never. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot of stuff to cover. I'm still going over that Fisherman's story from May 7th, and now we're being distracted by this crap. It's the only way it's going to end is if there's just no more connections, connections at being at the protest, and anyone that associates with these people. That's how I feel about it. It's enough. It's enough already.
Yeah.
I mean, how long do we have to put up with this crap? It's not about justice for Micah, because if it was, we would all join forces. We would all support each other, but they're
That's
not
all I
looking to
was about.
support.
That's
Mhm.
all I was about. I've always been that way, and anybody can go to any of my shows and you can see I am about community. Look at my panels compared to other people. I have a lot of panel shows. Community. I share other people's channels. But that was how I felt this morning and where I was coming from. And so I wanted to explain the background because I know a lot of people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that I never said to anybody this whole time, but people here and there I've mentioned things. So all the protesters could hear this message and they know who they are and they'll know what they told me and they know when they told me. And you know what I mean? It's a collective thing.
Yeah.
And so when I see this stuff, I see the boundaries, the limits that they're going for.
Mhm.
And the last thing that I want to do, they can decide if they want to have a negative mark on justice for Micah. I don't want them to use me to create a negative mark for justice for Micah because it's obviously their intention with whoever is in their path. Um, I'm going to ask you, please don't say anything to anybody until I'm going to have a show on Sunday morning. So Sunday morning around 9 a.m., I'm going to have a live, and that's where I'm going to explain to the whole community what I'm explaining to you tonight. I just wanted to either tell you guys this in person on live or send it out to you if you are watching it on a replay. I wanted to send it out to you. I wanted you guys to know before
Yeah.
because you guys mean the most to me. And I feel that you deserve to know how I woke up this morning with my soul. And I wanted to make sure that I told you guys, number one. But please, out of respect for me telling you, please don't say anything until Sunday after 9 a.m.
Mhm.
If you can do that, please. If you guys have any questions for me, you can email me, evillecj at gmail.com. You can shoot me a text or call 330-510-1110. I'll have a talk, no problem. Always transparent. Melissa knows that. I've shared a lot of information with you, always trying to be transparent, letting you know everything that's going on. And I want to say thank you, Melissa, for your support. Thank you, Allie, if you ever come across Allie, thank you for your support. Your guys' support means the world. And I just want to say thank you all for your understanding.
Right.
So I will talk about this Sunday morning at 9. And just because we're not going to be there for the protests doesn't mean, in actuality, we're going to be able to do even better when it comes to digging into more of this shoddy investigation. So there, even though we won't be there, it's going to start ramping up on
Well,
the
Melissa's concerned about the children that she had said it in the chat that are going in and out of the church, and I understand why she feels concerned. I would, about any kids going in and out of that church. So she feels very strongly about being there for those kids.
I'm not,
Um,
I'm just saying
yeah,
me.
I understand where she's coming from. I'm worried about her, but she probably could hold her own. Um,
Just be prepared
mhm.
because there's, when I'm not around, they're
When
going
you
to go.
start to see them stinging each other, Melissa, step back and get away quickly. because it's going to happen. I'll be surprised if Solid Rock's still standing on the Sunday. Really. But I always knew that when the actual, real, true, genuine protests stop, and that's what's happening now,
Well,
God's going to step, the Lord of Hosts is going to step in. It's going to get ugly.
it's been about 3 or 4 weeks that 3 weeks that my community's been reaching out to me a lot, asking me to move on to another community because they don't like, if I'm existing in a toxic environment, then they're existing in a toxic environment.
Yeah.
And so the community has been reaching. I've told other people in the background for weeks, that the community's been reaching out, asking me to go on another location and fight for justice that doesn't have toxic around it. And I've continued to stick through here. I still was sticking through here, even though I was getting treated a certain way and the community was reaching out to me. And I was still even going to, stick it through. But like I said this morning, it's just not justice for Micah anymore with those individuals. It's justice for an agenda.
I'm going to go ahead and leave it right there. I ended the stream. Just a couple seconds after that. Again, that was a live conversation that I had with special people that are very important to me and that are part of the True Justice for Micah protest / movement. And so this morning I wanted to show you guys that conversation like I had on the screen cover. The reason that there was a screen cover on this episode is because there's people out here that might not have their personal information, and the people that I was showing the information to, they already had their information, and so it was more of a way to let them have confirmation of the people that I was discussing, just to show it is the true information and who I was referring to. So I want to say thank you guys for your understanding and support. I appreciate all the kind words in chat. It does mean a lot to me. It feels like a long time ago we had this conversation, Ann, but it was 5 days ago now, I think, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And it's on my heart even more than it was that evening that I spoke the message. But I wanted to be clear and give everybody a background and also let everybody understand where my soul was coming from when it came to all of this. So I want to say thank you for that. And shortly after that, there was another video that I'm going to show you guys. And this, I don't know, it's one level when you want to take it about discrediting our work and character, but this is another thing when somebody can discuss about my mental health this way.
CJ Crime Concepts to show the proof of the lies that he's shown about me. If you can produce the proof,
This lady, I don't get it.
You can't.
But it gets real bad. Trust me. Watch.
Because all of the things that you have said has happened have not. You're a delusional YouTube creator who is trying to get clicks and followers based on slander and harming the reputation of others' lives.
This is somebody that got mad at me also because I wasn't sharing the Solid Rock financial profit loss report that somebody handed me that I turned into the FBI. Yeah. And I still never got confirmation back from the FBI if I could even share it with the family. And this same individual then got that information that she was trying to get from me and then put it out there on blast. You can go see it. It's I don't know why never mind. I'm going to keep my personal to myself.
And I just wanted to make my followers aware of it. To unfollow him here on TikTok if you follow him.
I already got rid of TikTok like a week ago.
To unfollow him on YouTube if you follow him. Don't partake into people who have mental illnesses. They are obviously not on the right medicine, and we have to support them instead of dragging them down.
So now I have mental illnesses,
Wow.
and I don't take the right medicine.
She's a doctor now. That's awesome.
I mean, she sounds like JP, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rosie. Right on.
Same thing. Yeah.
I don't know. But I want to introduce the newest member to our family of angels. She's up there in the top left. Her name is Angel. She's the evil kitty. We're going to have an evil kitty cam. And Angel came from the hurricane. Angel, I'm recouping her back from health. She was out there all alone during the hurricane, cold, had an infection in her eyes, couldn't even open her eyes, and very malnourished. And so, if you go take a kitty to a shelter, you know what's going to happen here, unfortunately. So I went ahead and took her in.
Wow.
She's beautiful.
She is. Look, kitty, kitty.
So I'm going to
And I
go
don't
get her in
get
a minute.
It's so perfect that she has this bottom panel as well.
Yes. She's going to have a kitty cam now, so you'll be able to see the evil
She's like
kitty.
a baby.
Oh, she's just a little baby. She's just a little thing.
See the baby?
I'll go get her real quick so she can go crawl around on my shoulder. Hold on.
Yeah, I want to see her face. Niley, want to come see the baby kitty? He came into the room when he heard the word kitty.
Because kitties think that they're the only kitties in the world.
Oh, she is teeny.
She is. Yeah.
Look, baby. Oh, you heard? She did a meow. Oh, she's on his shoulder. She's so little.
Yeah, she'll hang out on my shoulder.
Oh my goodness, CJ.
She'll hang out on my shoulder.
Oh, she could probably go in your hood.
She'll crawl up.
She's on your head.
She'll crawl up on my head too.
How adorbs.
Oh my goodness.
Niley,
So-
look. Come
There
here,
we
baby.
go. There we go. Now you can see her. Hi, kitty. Come here. Come here.
Did you
Come here.
name her?
Yeah, her name's Angel.
Angel.
that's
Angel.
so
Okay,
nice.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
She's Angel. Oh,
She
she
Well,
loves
she
it.
knows where she wants to be.
She
She
loves my
knows that
head.
she's on the top.
She loves my
Took
head.
her position.
Come on, kitty.
Uh-huh.
No, don't climb up my head. So this is Angel. No, you don't want to eat that either. No, she's a spice. She had no energy whatsoever. She slept for like 2 days straight,
Oh.
and then now she's just a ball full of energy, aren't you? Aren't you? Yeah. So this is Angel, and we're gonna
She's
have a little
beautiful.
kitty cam so you guys can see how Angel's doing as she gets older. But I wanted to introduce. Okay, go ahead.
She's
Go ahead.
decided. Yeah.
Go ahead.
She wants to be there, CJ.
Go ahead. Come on. Go ahead. Climb up there. Get up there.
So you found her
Yeah,
after the hurricane, you said, or
it was the morning after the worst part of it.
Off of the world.
Yeah, so she was just chilling all by herself and just crying. And the people I was staying with, they were like, "Do you hear a cat?" And then they went and got her, and
oh my god,
I was like, "Aw,
poor baby.
yeah, yeah." I want to say, let me do the contribution call.
God put you two together.
Real quick. Oh, she was so tired. Now she's
She's
just-
full of energy.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
And she's gonna get more playful because
Oh yeah.
that age is coming. where they're up the curtains and up and down.
Oh yeah,
Enjoy.
she loves it. Normally she's on my shoulder. I don't know why she's on my head so much right now. Probably showing off. Come here. Yeah. Come
She
here.
wants to be on his head.
Yeah.
Come here. Don't chew my cord. No, don't chew my cord.
Uh-oh.
She wants to chew. There we go. Come on.
Whatever that little red toy thing that she looked like she was kind of hugging it or
Yeah.
laying on it.
Yeah, that's her little hug toy.
Aw.
Oh, now she's giving me kisses. Aw. All right. So yeah, she's from the hurricane. I was like, I have to take her in.
A miracle. She's a miracle kitty.
So, contribution call out real quick. Give me 1 second. Oh, that tickles. Stop. Oh my gosh. Kitty, come on. Come here.
Yeah, they feel safe in the necks when they're babies. That's true.
Stop.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, I'm getting distracted here. Contribution call out. I want to say Charity, thank you for becoming a member. Let me see. Fields of Grace, $10 super chat. Please read your email from KM Taylor. Let me see. Make sure you spelled it correctly. I don't see an email from KM Taylor. EVILLECJ@gmail.com. Jennifer with the $2 super sticker. Thank you so much. Please let me know what they were. Jennifer with the $1.49 super sticker as well. Thank you so much. Fly Girl, $4.99 super chat. CJ and Ann, I'm behind both of you. You are
That's
amazing.
sweet.
Thank you so much for your support. Fly Girl, $9.99 super chat. CJ, Kitty treats and toys. Oh, now I'm getting clawed. Kitty, come here.
Oh yeah, their claws at that age are like
Oh,
knives.
Come here. And Jennifer with the $5 super chat towards food or little for Angel. Thank you so much. Yeah, I was able to. I know. I I was able to. It's like being a dad all over again,
Yep.
right? Yeah, you're gonna get spoiled, huh?
Yeah, you have another little girl. How adorbs.
Yeah. She's gonna get spoiled. I'm gonna let her run the house. All right.
Oh, she'll be running that house soon, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Right. So give her.
Yeah. Stop. Aw. But I just wanted to give you guys. I had the show from a few days ago, and I just wanted you guys to hear from my soul what was going on. The last couple days, because I wasn't going, I changed up and went ahead and did the travel back here. Plus, I had her, so I wanted to make sure that I got back here and we could
Yeah.
get her back to health.
Listen.
So
And the
she's
whole
not.
thing.
Yeah, she's not 100%, but she's
Are you
really
needing
close
to
now.
bottle feed her?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
I've been bottle feeding her. And it's like every couple hours I've been giving her a little, hey, kitty. Yeah, she's hungry. She eats like crazy. Oh, kitty.
Bet.
No.
He's
No.
bottle feeding her.
No.
Isn't that adorable?
Aw.
I had to take my earbud out. But yeah, I've had to bottle feed her. Because if I would have took her to a shelter,
Yeah.
what they would have done. So I just couldn't. I couldn't let it happen. I couldn't let it happen, and even though I was like gonna be getting a dog, she just kind of came into my life, and so
She chose you.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's gonna be here to stay. Not kidding.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and made a kitty cam. That way you guys can see her as she grows up with us. She's part
I
of the
love
family.
that.
She's another
Yeah.
angel. So she's the mascot for the Angels now. Yeah. So I want to say thank you all so much. I wanted to introduce her too because I thought let's introduce her today.
Yeah, she chose you. She would. That's what she was crying for. That's right. That's right. Under the mystic moon said. That's
Yeah.
true. That's why she was calling out. She was, CJ, pick me up.
Tired of getting blocked by. There we go. She's just chilling in the back. This is where she's been laying. Is she'll come like right on my shoulder and my back, and the next thing you know, she's passed out.
Aw.
Yeah. But don't forget, we're gonna be back on tonight. I just need a little bit of rest. I've been up since like 1 a.m. I got home yesterday. It was like over 4 hours longer than what I planned with the drive, and you know how long the drive is already. And I just came back here, gave her some more medicine, fed her some more, got her all situated for bed, and then I went ahead and crashed out. So I got to try and find some sleep in between. But tonight, I do apologize about the instability. The last few shows. Tonight we are hardwired. We're hooked up. We're ready to go. We're going to be digging into more of the Fisherman's Inconsistencies, what we were starting to do a few nights ago. We'll be getting into that tonight as well, and we got plenty more to get into the investigation. Like I said earlier, our justice for Micah and the efforts are not stopping. In fact, by not participating anymore, we are going to have even more time to do our investigations and digging into things. And our investigations won't stop. Just like I said a month ago, I told you guys a month ago, we were going to do some work at Lumber River State Park. Shout out Narc Divers. We're going to be teaming up again, and we're going to be teaming up for other cases here as well. So we'll be doing boots and boat searches with some other cases as well. So
Yeah, and if I could, I just wanted to throw in there. I was on the phone for about 4 hours with Micah's mother last night.
That's sweet.
And the first hour, it was just uncontrollable sobbing.
Aw.
And this woman, obviously is broken. And asked, please don't give up. Please don't give up. I said, we are not giving up. Absolutely not. So she fueled me even more to keep going forward after that phone call.
Yeah, we're not going to stop. In fact, I mean, why would we? We've already dug into so much, and there's more stuff that we just haven't been able to get into just because of time. And just wait. Just wait, like the stuff that we're like it's leading us to is justice for Micah completely, trust me. And not 150, that's 200. Yeah, especially tonight. So the notification's already out. It's going to be 6:30 Central, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be digging more into that, and I'm going to be trying to get some day shows in there too. So if you watch during the daytime, we'll be doing some daytime shows as well as evening shows too. So sometimes 2 shows a day. So
great.
I want to say thank you all. Thank you, Rosie, for hopping up. Thank you for the post and stuff of support too. It means a lot to everybody.
Of course.
And thank you for everything that you're doing too for the Justice for Micah movement. So go ahead and hit the noti. Come back tonight. We'll be back. Kitty, you'll be back either on my shoulder or in her bed. And we're going to dig in some more. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Please hit the like if you haven't yet. And if you're not subscribed to the guest, please consider doing so. Oh.
She has something to say.
Bye, Kitty.
Bye, guys.
Oh,
God bless. See you later.
Oh, 1 second. Contribution call out. She's a wildflower. Thank you for becoming a member. Appreciate you so much. And thank you. We'll see you tonight. Appreciate you.
See you later, Rosie.
Bye.
can you let a supervisor know that I have a case report?